Hi friends, it's a Monday morning and I need to get some things done in the kitchen. The first thing that I need to do is get this place tidy because it's a real mess after the weekend, and then I'm going to be doing some restocking, so mayonnaise, yogurt, bone broth, kefir, I don't know, lots of things that need to be going on in the kitchen today to get us ready for the week. Now, our kitchen is a real workhorse. It's where we gather as a family, it's where we spend a lot of our time, and obviously since I'm making everything from scratch, it does get very messy and very dirty, but that just means that people live here and that we are enjoying spending time together and eating good food together. So it's fine, it just needs to be tidied up on a regular basis. And this particular Monday, nobody had really wanted to tidy up the kitchen over the weekend, so I needed to get on top of it before I could do anything else. I don't know if you're the same, but I find it really difficult to work in a messy space, so I like to get things tidy and clean before I start. Okay, so that just took me 10 minutes and the place is looking a lot better already. So now I'm ready to get on with some of the restocking. The first thing I'm going to make is some starter because I want to make some bread later on today, and hopefully I'll take you along for the process of making the bread too. But this morning I need to get my starter ready and fermenting. Since I received my grain mill, I've been making everything with freshly milled flour, and it's been a really good experience. We really enjoy the flavour. The texture takes some working out, but I'm getting there. The kids love the bread and I'm having lots of fun making cakes and muffins. So this is a trick that I found on Instagram. If you want your starter to double quicker, then you put it on a seed mat. So it's a heat mat that's made for growing seeds, and it just keeps the starters slightly warm, which is great when your house is not very warm in the spring when the heating's not on and it's not very warm outside. So I use this just to give my starter a quick start. So I've just put my milk on to boil. It needs to come to about 80 degrees Celsius. And then I'm going to cool it down and I'm going to add my yogurt starter. So I normally use an old batch of yogurt for my yogurt starter, but I ate it this morning, completely forgot that I needed to keep it. So thankfully I had a little packet of yogurt starter in my cupboard, and I'm going to be able to make yogurt anyway. So that will be later. It takes about 10 minutes for it to heat up. I usually cool it down in the sink in some cold water, so it doesn't take too long to cool down, but making yogurt is a time-consuming process in the sense of you have to wait a lot. It's then going to ferment for 15 hours. I usually like to do it for at least 12 to get all of the good probiotics in there, 15 if I can. So yogurt is time consuming in the sense that you have to make it well in advance of when you need it, but it's not hands-on at all. You just let it go, let it ferment. So it's a really easy process. Now I'm making some bone broth. So in this pot I've got some pork bones and some leftover chicken bones from when I made roast chicken, and I'm going to be adding loads of water in there to the maximum probably of this pressure cooker, and I'm also going to be adding some extra flavourings here. So I've got about 10 peppercorns, and I usually like to add 5 cloves of garlic. I've got 3 bay leaves. I've got 4 or 5 cloves of garlic. What else am I missing? I'm missing an onion and some vinegar. I'm going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons of vinegar. That will just help to get all of the nutrients out of the bone. While I'm milling some more flour to make some muffins, I'm having a quick cup of coffee before I need to get on again. I'm making sourdough blueberry muffins here, and you can get the recipe for this and lots of the other recipes over on the blog. I will put a link to all of those recipes in the description box below. I totally forgot to put the oil in this batter, and I only realised when I took it out of the fridge to bake it. So you'll see me later on in the video putting oil into the batter, but obviously you should do it right away at the beginning. Now I'm on to making something that I really haven't quite got the hang of yet, and that is ghee. So ghee is clarified butter, and it's supposed to be a lot more digestible for people with dairy allergies and lactose intolerance. And you make it by heating up butter very, very slowly and removing the white foam from the top as it heats. And the white foam has all of the protein in, from what I can understand, so you end up with butter that is very, very low in protein. And we're trying our boys on this to see if we can introduce a little bit of dairy. It's the very first step, and we're seeing how it goes. They love the flavour, so that's already really good, and we're hoping that we might be able to introduce real butter soon. Now I'm on to making some mayonnaise. You've seen me make this several times on the channel already. It's very easy to do. I will link the recipe for you in the description box below. Now here's a top trick. If you're making yoghurt in your Instant Pot, make sure you take off the rubber seal, because that is really smelly. If you've been cooking meat or anything else in there, it retains the smell and it will make your yoghurt taste really weird. So take it off and just put the lid on like this. And I'm just going to do this now for 12 hours, because 15 hours from now will be the middle of the night. So that's no good. I'm leaving it for 12 hours, so it'll be a little bit less acidic than normal, which is not a bad thing, and it will still have loads of good probiotics. One of my family's favourite breakfasts, especially in the summer, is homemade yoghurt and granola. And I love this granola recipe. Again, you can get it over on the blog. I will put the link in the description box below. The only change I've made to this time is that I'm using some almond pulp that I dried out in the oven after making almond milk instead of using whole almonds. It tasted really good and we really enjoyed eating this. Another of our favourite summer recipes is this water kefir. I love making this and our children absolutely love drinking it, so I have to make it very regularly. I do a first fermentation with the kefir grains, filtered water, cane sugar, lemon slices and dried apricots. And then I strain that off into these bottles that have the spring tops on, and I add some grape juice. And that will then ferment again and become very fizzy, which is, I think, what my children love the most. I always have to start a second batch as soon as I've strained off the first, so that we can keep up with demand. I'm back to straining off the white foam in this ghee. It's not a very easy process. Like I said, I haven't quite mastered it yet, so if you've got any tips for me, I would be really grateful if you would share them in the comments below. I've got a lot of laundry that I need to be getting on with in the next day or so I need to make some more fabric softener. This is so easy to make. It's just vinegar, water and a few drops of essential oil. I like to make it in these big jars, these drink fountains I think they're called. It makes it very easy to use and I can make a big load of it in one go rather than having to keep making 1 litre at a time. This is later on in the day and my muffin batter has been fermenting in the fridge for several hours. So I'm just adding the oil that I forgot earlier on, and then I'm going to bake it in the oven for about 18 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. That's it for today. I've got so much done today and I've been in the kitchen for just over an hour and a half. So it just goes to show you can really get a lot done in a short amount of time. And if you want to have a homemade kitchen, it's not that difficult. It's a case of being organized and using the time that you have wisely to get things done. So I've still got some things to do during the day. I'll need to be making my bread, but that's very hands off. I'll have to strain the yogurt later, strain the broth. I'm going to be able to set up my computer in the kitchen and do some work while things are cooking, while things are fermenting, and I will just be able to keep an eye on things while I'm doing something else. So I hope I gave you some ideas today. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like. Leave me a comment to let me know what you like to stock up on over the week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.